So everybody, welcome back to Two Nobodies with the Mic. As we promised, special guest in the house, a starting QB for Cornell University, Ivy League, first freshman to throw a TD and run for a TD at Cornell.
Very cool.
I mean, the dude, super athletic. His stats, 14 TDs, had a 121.7 passer rating. I mean, off the charts. You might notice he might be of the Asian persuasion. One of two Asian quarterbacks in Division I football. That'll be the last I ask of that, because to me it don't make a difference, but I'm sure there's been challenges for you. And I'm super pumped to have you on. The first thing I want to ask you, are you in the FBI protection program? Because every time I look you up, it's Wang or Wang. It changes every freaking week. Which is it? Is it Wang or Wang?
Spelled Wang, pronounced Wong.
No way. So there's an explanation for it.
There you go.
Yeah, because, listen, I've watched every YouTube video. Even Cornell spells it different every other fucking week. It's kind of crazy. So
do the guys calling do the announcers ever? I'm sure they screw it up.
The first year they did, but we made sure they got it right.
They got it right.
They're right.
So
now.
say that again.
Spelled W-A-N-G, pronounced Wong.
So we've been saying it wrong the whole time. Wow.
Nice,
like a
Eddie.
Rubik's Cube over here, this guy. That's freaking cool, man. Listen, great name, by the way. Props to your parents. Jameson, is there a story behind Jameson? Other than your father's a drunk?
Not the whiskey. My sister's name's Harrison, so we kind of rhyme.
Wow,
so.
cool.
Damn, that is freaking cool, man. That is super cool. Being an Asian quarterback, I'm sure it has its challenges. But when did you start playing football? At what age?
I started playing flag football when I was 4, and I've always played quarterback as well. So I've always been making decisions, being in the spotlight. But I've loved the game. Still playing it with the same passion I've had when I was a little kid. So
speaking of a little kid, and anytime you want to step in, Rafa, go ahead. But where'd you grow up? L.A., what area?
El Segundo.
El Segundo.
Right 105, so not too far away. But,
and you went all the way to Oaks Christian?
Yeah, so
What a haul.
I made the haul for a semester, but then we moved out there because the CIF transfer rule. So we moved out there for a year and moved back right to El Segundo. So
well, we jumped a little bit ahead of there. Let's talk about, you've been playing football, flag football, since you're 4 years old. That's freaking awesome. And then you played for the LA Ducks.
LA City Ducks.
Very prominent team out here. Listen, we're in Southern California, just like Texas and Florida. Youth football, it's not called Pop Warners. I don't know what it's called, but it's a big deal. Empire Ducks, Santa Clarita Wildcats, the Warriors. There's teams all over. Snoop is a factory of a bunch of athletes. Kids travel to play on certain teams. And where was the Ducks located? Where'd you have to go every day?
So we practiced in Westwood, right off National. So not too far of a drive for us, but we played our home games at Harvard Westlake. So that was the Harvard Westlake connection. That's how
wow.
It was kind of the feeder into Harvard Westlake. I think 2 or 3 of my teammates, we went to Harvard Westlake together. Okay. So not too far, but definitely Oaks Christian was definitely a push.
Oh, yeah. So, like I said, we'll get to Oaks Christian later, Papa. I got to know, because I have some insider information. When we promoted you having on, I got a lot of messages. This dude is fire. This dude's athletic. This dude's badass. And then I got one message. I picked him off 3 times in the Super Bowl. Did you throw 3 picks in the 8th grade Super Bowl?
I did.
To one Travis Gill. He had all 3.
I might have thrown 4 that game.
Oh, man. And then I asked Travis, did you win? He's like, of course we won. You know? But
it was closer than it sounds. It was only 10-7, so.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, wow. It was a cold night in Ventura.
Ooh, when
It was
was
windy.
going?
Late November,
Yes.
maybe early December.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Travis Gill,
my
relax.
receivers.
You know what?
brick hands.
This reminds me of my Aaron Rodgers excuse against the 49ers.
It was-
you can't throw the ball like that.
That is the dumbest shit. We're not doing that tonight.
Well, I'm making my case for my man over here. You know, he had a bad game.
We already know. Travis
Yes.
Gill, just the fact that they
Travis-
only won 10-7 should not be bragging about the 300
Yes.
interceptions. You won 10-7.
Yes.
You didn't return shit,
Listen,
obviously.
That will be the last. That will be the last negative thing I bring up. I promise, Jameson Wang. That's crazy to me. So listen, you obviously. I've watched all your YouTube. Jameson had a YouTube channel called Trick Shots, and he did 2 episodes, all kinds of dunks, some crazy dunks. It's very obvious that you are gifted. You're very athletic. But who was your partner in those in those videos?
So his name was Kevin Chandler. We actually went to the Air Force Academy together.
Really?
So we played youth football and youth basketball all the way up until, I think, 6th grade. His parents were in the Air Force, so they were at the LA Air Force Base in El Segundo. So we went to,
Oh, wow.
Wow.
went to elementary and middle school together. They got restationed in Florida. So he played high school football in Florida, but we ended up reconvening.
That's
at the Air
crazy.
Force with CJ. So.
Because if you look on YouTube, you guys were very young, and it's pretty impressive. The dunks. I mean, I don't know how many. They're doing all kinds of crazy dunks. Obviously, not on a 10-foot rim. I'm assuming.
No, it was like 8.
They don't even know that. They don't even know that.
They don't even know that shit.
Yeah, sorry about
Eddie.
that. I mean,
It was 13 feet.
He's
It was
like
actually 11, yeah.
You're like what, 9 or 10 in those videos?
super
Yeah.
young.
But you could tell at a very young age you're very athletic. So from El Segundo, you what was the choice of going to Harvard Westlake, super prestigious high school in the Valley off of Ventura Boulevard? A lot of history. What was the factor going to Harvard Westlake?
So I was either going to go to Harvard Westlake or Windward. At the time, both schools really wanted me. But at the end of the day, the education at Harvard Westlake is a little better.
Yeah.
And then the football was a little higher
Yeah.
level. Not only that, they had a vacancy at the quarterback position. So that's when I came in and competed for the job right away and was able to start as a freshman.
And
Awesome.
played very well. He has, I think you've set 5 records at Harvard Westlake, passing efficient touchdowns, longest pass.
Do those still stand?
I think the most of them should still stand because Harvard Westlake football has gotten tremendously worse since I've been there.
Tremendously worse.
They've been atrocious.
Spoken like a true Ivy Leaguer.
Yes.
Tremendously worse. Yes. So has my weight. Tremendously worse. So, Rafa.
That's tremendously skyrocketed.
Yes. Tremendous.
Superbly?
Yes.
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 A lot.
A lot. So, Rafa, I'm going to toot my own horn here. You ready for this?
All right, let's hear it.
So, at Harvard Westlake, his athletic director, a certain running back, Terrence Barnum, right, a 5-star recruit out of Alamany High School, who was his athletic director at Harvard Westlake. I was Terry Barnum's fullback.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
That was his fullback, and Terry drugged me along to all his recruiting trips. Ended up going to SC, caught a touchdown in the Rose Bowl. And Terry, very good guy. And we talked a lot about football and Harvard Westlake and how Harvard Westlake, if you guys look up Harvard Westlake and look at famous alum, it's like insane. Like it's not only athletically, but just Hollywood families, producers, superstars, Shirley Temple, the mayor, Eric Garcetti. Athletically, you had the Collins twins.
Yeah. Remember those dudes.
Baseball, elite over there. Elite Freed, right?
Max Fried,
Fried.
Jack Flaherty.
Wow. The arms.
Giolito,
Yeah.
a certain
Yeah.
guy. Angel. And so you're there. You play well. You do very well at Harvard Westlake. But, you know, after watching a bunch of interviews, you and tell me if I'm wrong, you had a dream to play at a very, like a Big 5, a top 5 power conference school. Was that one of the reasons why you went to Oaks Christian?
So, yeah, I mean, obviously Oaks Christian football wise is at one of the highest levels in Los Angeles, in the country as well. And they had a vacancy when I was going into my senior year. And I also had one of my dearest friends who was there, and he was like, "You could really come in and compete, take it over." So, not only that, there were some issues at Harvard Westlake. A new coach came in, really didn't see eye to eye. Had some issues with Terry as well. So
I'll call Terry's ass right now. Terry.
Yeah. So no, but at the end of the day, it was a football decision, and I think it was the best decision I've ever made because the competition I played that year was the best I've ever played against, even to this day. Even in the Ivy League, I'd rather play the competition I played at Oaks Christian.
I mean, so if you guys don't know, and I've said it a bunch of times, I spit on every other high school football state. California, let's set aside the Trinity League, which is by far, it's not debatable that it's the best football in the country. But you have schools all over Los Angeles and Ventura County. Ventura County is a hotbed.
Oh, yeah.
Harvard Westlake, just Westlake in general, St. Bonnie, Camarillo, Agoura, the Chargers. There's a lot of money out there, and the competition and coaching is very, very good. Oaks Christian, I mean, famously, I remember this story. So I used to go when I lived in Santa Clarita. They had a passing league tournament at Central Park. Did you play?
Saugus.
The Saugus passing league tournament. And I was I'm a nerd. I would pack up the family. I would bring chairs, and that was a big weekend for us. And dude, one year at Oaks Christian, this is like insane. Joe Montana, his son was the quarterback.
Will Smith,
Trevor
Gretzky,
and Wayne Gretzky's son, all sitting. And I'm doing this. I don't think I had a flip phone at the time, so I couldn't take pictures. But it was insane. And Oaks Christian, always had elite talent. And, dude, but you're there. It's Long Beach Poly. I love passing league tournaments. I mean, it's so fun. Yeah. And it's really physical.
It is.
It's super physical and entertaining. And that was a big, big thing. How'd you do? So did you go in the summer? Were you able to compete in those summer league with Oaks?
Yeah, so I came in January going into my senior. So I was still a junior. So I did all the spring leagues. I think we didn't play in the Saugus tournament that year, but we played in the Edison tournament, the Battle of the
That's Beach. A huge one. Modern day, Bosco. Yeah, everyone goes to that one too.
Everyone there. So that was like the big tournament for me. Like we placed top 4 there. We played Norco. We ended up losing to Norco, but I think Bosco Modern Day ended up playing in the finals. So
you didn't throw 3 picks there to what's his name?
No.
Travis Gill.
All right, just making sure.
Yeah.
So that is a pretty scary ordeal for you to go into a high school senior year. It's make it or break it. Did you already have offers at Harvard Westlake?
No, I did not. So that was a big risk for me because if I go in and don't play,
that's a huge risk.
So I just bet on myself. I believed in myself. At the time, it was funny. So there's 5 of us that came in. There's 2 already in-house and 3 transferred in.
Wow.
So there's 5 of us competing, and one of them was committed to Louisville.
Whoa.
So I was going in against all odds, and I just worked my butt off. And
how'd your mom and dad, what was the factor? Were they completely supportive? Did they say, man, this is a big risk? Did they trust you and your decisions? How involved were your parents during this whole deal?
Oh, very involved. My dad's been a part of this. He's been my coach my entire life into 8th grade, so he's been a part of this. Obviously, my mom, she's more of the school side, so my dad did more sports, and then my mom would help with school. So that was my family growing up. But these big decisions are long family discussions.
Yeah.
It doesn't just happen overnight. You talking about this for months. I was talking about this during season at Harvard Westlake because I was getting fed up my junior year at Harvard Westlake. It just wasn't going the way that I wanted it. And after every game, I was like telling my dad, "We're out of here. We're gonna go."
They just can't get the football right. It's I don't know what it is. We were talking about it before the show. They have elite baseball. They have elite water polo, everything, but they just don't value football for some reason at Harvard Westlake.
You want to know the reason? I have the reason.
Don't say Terry Barnum.
No. Each sport is allowed the same amount of recruits. So football, you need the most. You have the most players. we get the same number as basketball.
Oh, wow, that's terrible.
That makes perfect
So
sense then.
That's why Harvard Westlake football it never got.
Well,
off.
you know, that's not an excuse. I mean, Mater Dei and Bosco don't recruit at all, I don't think, right?
That's different. That's different. I mean,
No, that's all they're accused of for is the recruiting yeah. They only get 52 recruits at Bosco and Mater Dei.
Only. Only. We're spread thin.
So you go to Oaks, you win the starting job.
Yep.
Crazy odds are against you. I watched all the highlights. I saw a bunch of games. I would say your strength, man, is running those sprint right, sprint left, throwing with your feet not set. I noticed that when Chris Ricks, who played for Florida State and Santa Margarita, awesome career, he runs a quarterback thing, right? When did you sign up with Chris Ricks, and how big of a part was that, you know, at Oaks Christian?
So I think I met Chris Ricks during Elite 11. It was at Long Beach Memorial, Long Beach City College. And we just stayed in touch after that. I didn't really work with Chris Ricks, Coach Ricks, until after my football season at Oaks.
Okay.
That's when that video came out.
Yeah.
But he's been very supportive of my process all the way even up to today. A few weeks ago, we had my Cornell teammates come out, and he helped run it.
Really?
Oh, that's cool.
Man, that's cool.
He coached me. We did our quarterback stuff, and then just a great man, just not even football, just
right.
a man of faith, man of God, and just spreading that positivity among us.
I remember him playing at Santa Margarita. I've always followed Chris Ricks. I'm probably a little bit older than him, but for some reason, I've always followed him. And like you said, just seems like a solid family man. And dude, props to your family for taking that risk. It obviously paid off, right? My question at Oaks and is who's your biggest rivalry at Oaks? I know you're only there for 1 year.
Has to be Westlake.
Okay.
It's right across the street.
That's right.
Really
And at the time, they had an elite program as well, passing.
They were, I would say they were kind of on the come down.
Yes, yeah, I agree.
You know, not Malik Henry era, not that type of
Yeah,
Westlake,
yeah.
but it's definitely still good football.
Yeah.
But, no, it was Westlake for us, and then Calabasas. Calabasas was good at that time.
Crazy, man.
Yeah, Jaden Casey, Johnny Wilson.
Yes, the Clausens were there,
we're
right,
coaching,
for a little
right?
bit.
Yeah.
Dude, Calabasas, when I was coaching, literally were 0-10. And a coach came in there. They changed everything around, and they just completely flipped everything. And my question to you is I know you were injured for that big Alemany game. I was hoping that you said it was Alemany because I know some coaches at Alemany, and they have they foam at the mouth for Oaks Christian. They think Alemany's, you know, we're next to Pacoima, San Fernando, and they think of Oaks Christian as, you know,
I went to
glorious.
that game when they had Gretzky, because
Really?
Jackie's brother played on Alemany
Really?
that year. Yeah, so I was there when they.
It's sort of like a
Montana was
Padres-Dodger
there.
thing, right? Where
Yeah,
the
but-
Oaks Christian doesn't view Alemany as a rival, but Alemany's like
They hate 'em.
they hate him.
Just like Notre Dame. Like,
Yeah.
they hate Notre Dame. Like,
Yes.
oh, you're not even good.
Yeah, Notre Dame's like, who are we playing this week?
Who? Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
So you've had some injuries and you've fought back through some adversity, some knee issues. I mean, you've been through it all, man.
Yeah, no, I really wanted to play in that Alemany game. That was the Fox Sports game of the
yes.
week, you know. Doc said no, and I was gonna go out there, but my dad was like, you know, it's in your best interest. You're on national TV. If it doesn't go the way you want it to go, it doesn't
you
look
can't
good.
tell everyone my knee was hurt. They don't give a
Yeah,
shit.
they don't care.
And Alemany came out gunning for us, man.
Oh, like I'm telling
Miller
you, they
was
always
slinging
do.
it that day, so we ended
Miller
up losing by
Moss.
like
Miller Moss.
we lost by 40. So at the end of the day, it was a good decision not to play that game.
Yeah.
Came back the next week and
Man, good.
kept it rolling.
Good for you. So then we're at Oaks. When do the offers start coming in?
The offers came in before the season. The offers came in right when I got there. When the coaches were on the road, college coaches were on the road recruiting. I would go throw in front of them at Oaks with the receivers, and just Oaks just with the football. Like at Harvard Westlake, barely any coaches came through.
Oh yeah.
Oaks Christian every day, different coach. I saw Sark in the office. Harbaugh was just on campus because he got Charbonnet.
Yes.
So it was just a whole different experience, you know, football wise. And for that, I'm eternally grateful.
Did
for
you
those
play at all
positions.
with Charbonnet?
I did not. Him and Kayvon left before I even got
Okay.
there. They just left. So
Yeah, yeah. Kayvon, Kayvon, another.
Jesus Christ.
We've talked about Kayvon, like another freak athlete over there.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, like, man, my God. And I'll admit it.
You were a hater.
I thought he was going to be a bust.
Oh, that. When we first started the podcast.
Listen, when he came out and said, I want to start my own crypto, just this and that, I'm like, this dude doesn't love football. And
he proved you wrong.
he proved me wrong, Papa. I'm not a, I apologize. He's balling in New York.
big balling.
Big balling. He wasn't inconsistent at Oregon. He just, when he played, he was great, and then he didn't play a lot. So
Smart.
dude, totally wrong about that. He's a baller, and it happens. So you're getting offers. I know you're a basketball player, obviously, the trick shot thing. Another football lover over here. I know you've traveled to Europe. You've seen Barca play. And how was that experience?
Yeah, no, I love the European soccer culture. I'm a big PSG fan, Kylian Mbappe. But yeah, no, it's just something different. These athletes, they get paid they're almost getting paid billions to go out there.
Yeah, we talked about it last week. People,
it's crazy.
Yes.
There's different money out there. So it's just good to see that culture out there. Big football up there.
Football!
Yeah.
Yes, this guy right here is an addict.
The real football.
The real football, yes.
real
The
football.
beautiful game. But so you actually got to go see in the stadiums? Did you
Yes,
actually see some games?
I didn't see a game. I think it was their off season, but I went to Camp Nou. We were in Madrid. I saw the Madrid
Bernabeu.
stadium. Yep. So it was just super cool to see that culture because
Yeah.
those stadiums are way bigger than
than anything here, yeah.
Yes.
they're
Yes.
100,000s. You know,
Yeah.
So
Yeah. It's that new soccer Adidas commercial, and Trevor Lawrence, your boy, he's
Don't do
like
that.
they're bigger
boy.
stadiums. Yeah.
Don't do that.
So you're getting offers in. Who was on the radar? Like, let's say top three.
top three was Air Force, Army, and Cornell.
Really? Now, I know Air Force, triple option. If I'm recruiting, I'm saying this guy is athletic. He could run this offense. But to me, just watching everything I've seen, listen, Air Force might throw the ball 5-6 times, maybe.
Yeah. Army might throw it too.
I mean, you're more of a salsa dancer than a quarterback.
Yeah.
And the pivots and the rolls, it's a beautiful thing. Don't get me wrong. I'm a fullback. I love watching that shit. I love 3rd and 5. Let's give it to the fullback, and he gets it. I love it. I love it. But
He wakes up in the middle of the night with first down.
But seeing you at Harvard Westlake, I saw a lot. And seeing you at Oaks, dude, you were I don't want to say Patrick Mahomes because I don't like Patrick. I think you're better than him.
I wish.
But you're a mobile quarterback, and you're mobile to throw the ball.
Yeah, no, I think my biggest trait is extending plays. That's the big thing.
What
Just
Here, I have a Raider contract right here that you signed.
when the play breaks down, I think that's when I'm at my best, which is very unorthodox and very untraditional. But that's just the flow of my game. And the issue was I wanted to play FBS football.
Yeah.
I was waiting on a few Mountain West schools to come in late towards the end of the season after they see some film, but just ended up not working out. So the reason why my only 2 FBS options were triple option schools. So
Yeah.
I thought I could do it. I gave it my best foot forward. And
Yeah.
at the end of the day, it just didn't work out.
And I think it's been a blessing. You are a throwing quarterback. You're mobile. You're athletic, but you throw the ball on the run better than I've seen a lot of quarterbacks. A lot of quarterbacks can't do it, and your feet aren't set. It's very impressive. So kudos to you. I think you've made the right decision. Is Cornell? You chose Cornell. How was that coming in? Did they change the offense for you?
At first, no, but now getting into my junior year, stuff is definitely more catered towards me. But I actually had a harder decision to make leaving Air Force.
Oh man, yeah.
So Coastal Carolina came in with a full ride offer.
Wow.
Whoa.
And this is when they were top like 10.
Yes.
The COVID
Ton
year.
of athletes.
And the difference between Ivy League and Coastal is financial aid over full scholarship. And Coastal had everything I wanted football-wise. You know,
Yes.
we're talking about FBS. Sunbelt is a legit conference. I think all those conferences.
Coastal's a legit program.
Yep,
For sure.
Yep. So, and they essentially run the triple option out of the shotgun, though.
Yeah.
It's not the under center pivoting
Yeah.
stuff, but you're still getting to the same things in the shotgun with Coastal. And that's an offense that I can run because I'm able to run the ball, but I'm also able to pass off play action as well. So I was really considering going. I was about to decommit from Cornell to go to Coastal, but at the end of the day, it's the education. You go to Cornell for the education to be set up for 40 years down the road.
You slap that baby on your office wall, like, woo, woo.
Yeah.
Cornell, baby. So a lot of people don't know, and maybe you can explain to us that there is no athletic scholarships in the Ivy League.
No, it's all need-based financial aid.
Yes. So the less money you have, the better. It's true. It's a thing. They don't, and to me, and tell me if I'm right or wrong, it almost like you transition to like a Harvard Westlake where football is not very important. I'm not saying it's not important at Cornell, but you transition almost into the same culture where it's education first and football second. Talk about that.
You hit it right on the spot. My Cornell experience has been the same as my Harvard Westlake experience.
I thought about that. I said that makes a lot of sense.
It's literally the same. The people act the same. The football is the same.
Yeah.
I love football. I love the coaches. I love my teammates, but no one else cares. You go to the game. Our stadium fits 28K. We get 2,000.
Yeah.
You know, so football is a joke when it comes to that. But at the end of the day, it's the people around me, my teammates who I love so dearly, the coaches and the trainers and the staff that supports us. And at the end of the day, that's all you need to go out there and play games.
And you look good in all big red, Papa. You look
love
really. I love the uniforms. I actually ordered a mini helmet, and the dude couldn't get it here in time. I wanted you to sign it for us. But let's talk about Cornell. Let's talk about the traditions. Who's the biggest rival? Because I know that like the Harvard Yale used to be a thing. Is that even a thing anymore?
Harvard Yale's still the biggest game at the end of the year. They play national TV. So that the biggest incentive in playing in the Ivy League is to play on ESPNU.
Yes.
So they have a Friday night schedule that starts after like week 2 or 3. But Harvard, Princeton, Yale, they'll get the majority of the games. They get 2-3 games. Everyone else only gets 1. So that's the incentive going Harvard, Princeton, Yale.
Do you know what your game is this year?
Yes, at Harvard, October 6th, Friday night.
We'll be watching right
in
here.
Cambridge. It's going to be a Boston massacre.
Should go. We should go, Papa. Bring some fat heads of freaking Jameson. We should go to that. I mean, I've always wanted to go to Boston and that whole culture, and I have some friends that go to Harvard. But explain, that's the big game. I actually watched the whole entire Harvard Cornell game. You had a terrific game. That was a great game last year. And like I said, I want to put your receivers on, but they dropped some balls, and it came down to the very end.
It did come down to the end. We had a great first drive. I think it was a 19-play, 10-minute drive to start off the game.
Yeah.
And go down and score a touchdown. But we had some difficulties in the second and third quarter, but we got it back in the late third going into the fourth, and just not enough time left on the board to put one more touchdown up. So we lost by 7, but it was a good game for us. We felt that we had a shot in the Ivy. Playing against a big dog like Harvard, going down to the wire, it just gave us confidence for the rest of the season. Yeah, man.
Listen, I watch. It's a Friday night schedule. I love, like I said, I just watched the whole.
The basketball's Friday night too.
Yeah,
Ivy League Friday nights.
Yes, and I'm a fan of it. My youngest son he had a Columbia and UPenn, so we went to visit UPenn. It's like I was telling James, it's like Hogwarts, man. The tradition, and they take their sports very seriously. But to the academia and the professors, they don't give you any special treatment.
It doesn't mean anything,
right? They almost might. It might actually be in reverse, where they might look down on you, like you just got here because you're a quarterback.
No, I failed a pass-fail class because we were always traveling on Fridays, and it was a 1-credit class, only met on Fridays, and I couldn't turn in assignments because we were on the road.
Oh my goodness!
And he failed me on the pass-fail, and I'll remember that forever. But I was shocked. I was
man,
like,
come on, guy, I'm like here Fridays.
Come on, man. Come on, I'm trying to represent.
Yeah.
That's crazy, man. I've heard that before. That they almost, oh, you're a football player. They treat you a little bit different. Which at Alabama, it's the exact opposite.
Yeah. No. Don't worry about it. Jan's gonna do the assignment.
Yeah,
Jan's got it.
Jan's got it.
Jan's got it for sure.
So leading into that, Cornell. How many more years of eligibility do you have?
So I'm going to be a junior this season. I have 2 more years left. I lost my first 2. I played my freshman year, started last year. So I have 2 left. 3 to play 2.
After this year? Or,
no, I'll have 1 after the
okay.
season. So I wish I had 2 more. But
You don't have a COVID year.
I spent my COVID year at Air Force. So
okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so are you on track to graduate early? Because I have a whole plan for you, Papa. We're going to write this all down. I know where you're going to be, but we got to get on the academics. When are you graduating?
So right now I'm going to graduate right after my senior year football season. So right when football's done, I should be done with Cornell.
And then you'll be, not that you're going to leave, but you'll be eligible to be a graduate transfer?
If I play the next 2 seasons, no. For whatever happens. But for right now, the plan is to finish my career at Cornell, play all 4 years at Cornell, and then see what I could do after that. Play in the NFL, CFL, XFL, USFL. I just want to keep playing until I can't play anymore. So.
I love it.
I love that.
So that's another thing that people don't know about Ivy League. And correct me if I'm wrong. There is no red shirts, correct?
No.
Like they don't give a shit.
Yeah.
You're here to learn. We don't care about your athletic ability.
If you go to grad, there's no grad school.
Yeah.
Like you can't. If you want a grad transfer, you gotta go somewhere else. You can't grad school at Cornell and play another year. Like it's just
insane.
Like that.
Explain how Yanni Diamakahales has wrestled for the last 18 years at Cornell. Yeah.
He just made a post. It was funny. He was like, "Thank you, Cornell, for the last 4 (6 years."
Yes. So if you guys don't know, everyone in the show, we're a big wrestling family, and Jameson and I were talking about it, and I kind of baited him like, so what's the best, program? He's like, oh, wrestling by far, and then lacrosse. Cornell wrestling is like Ohio State. It's top 5 every year. It's
really?
It's incredible. And they have Kyle Dake, right? Kyle Dake, the only champion to win 4 national championships at 4 different weights. He moved up a weight, and he's been on Tim Patrick. He's the 74 kilo representative for the United States. My son's gonna run into him, kick his ass, I'm sure. Yeah, because he does wrestle 74 kilos. But so Cornell wrestling, they're the big dogs on campus.
Really?
That's when you know they don't give a shit about athletics. When the wrestlers are important.
Oh, yeah.
At Bosco, they're like, what are you guys wearing these stupid fucking things for? Yeah. That's crazy. So the goal is, and you said it, man, because my thing is this, we talked about this, and you've had to overcome, I'm sure, I'm not, assuming, but I'm sure that you've had to overcome some stereotypes.
Oh, for sure.
And some things, because everyone, we talk about the eye test. Everything is the eye test. And it could go against you, and it could work for you. I'm sure, being one of 2 Asian quarterbacks, that you had to prove yourself at a different level. Explain, just explain how that's been for you.
Yeah, you talk about the eye test. I definitely don't pass the eye test.
When you walk into a room, they're like, "Is this the math major?"
I've learned that the hard way. But I just try to earn my respect on the field. Like, I'm gonna just make you respect me on the field, and I don't really care the off the field stuff, the political stuff. Like, at the end of the day, I'm here to play football, and that's been my thing my entire life. Whether it's Harvard Westlake, whether it's Oaks Christian, whether it's Air Force, whether it's Cornell, I've come in and I'm going to compete, and I'm here to play football. And the best thing, my freshman year at Harvard Westlake, the head coach was like, I don't care if you're black, white, yellow, brown, blue, red, like, the best guy's going to play. And
love that.
Ever since I heard that, I've
go.
respected that, and I just gotta trust the coaches who recruit me because they recruit me for a reason. They bring me in for a reason, and I'm just gonna put my faith into them, and I'm just gonna give them my all and give the program my all. And at the end of the day, like, I'm there to work. I'm there to be the quarterback, and I'm just gonna keep working.
So we've talked about this before. Like you look at a guy like Drake May, committed to Alabama, but now stayed loyal to North Carolina. Let's talk about a kid like DTR. What if DTR was in an Alabama uniform? I think he would be, the next this and that. And so my point is this, like, you wear that shield, right? And I see you making plays like DTR, running all over the place. And when I see you in full uniform, I'm not thinking this is an Asian quarterback. I'm thinking this dude's freaking talented. And I'm hoping that other people see the same things. I know you've had to overcome some stuff, but dude, when I see you, I'm just thinking, man, this guy is crazy athletic. And you shouldn't, so my plan for this, I was hoping he had I was thinking about him like he should transfer to Utah and be the Utah quarterback. That if I was your dad, I'd be in Whittingham's DMs. Like, I got a quarterback for you, Papa, because I know you have said that you wanted to be in a top 5 major program.
Yep, Power 5 was always the dream. FBS football was always the dream, but at the end of the day, Cornell was the best fit. Whether it was academics, whether it was athletics. I had a dear friend at Harvard Westlake. He was a senior when I was a sophomore, and he ended up going to Cornell. And he told me, he's like, if you come here, bro, like, you're gonna take this over. And
hell yes.
I was like, that's all I needed to hear. Because at the end of the day, you just want to play.
Right.
I go to Air Force, and I'm looking, there's 12 quarterbacks on the roster.
Oh, my God.
I'm like, what?
All spinning at the one time.
Not only that, these guys,
He knows.
you think I'm athletic? These guys are 10 times more athletic than me. You got the 200-meter Mountain West champion playing quarterback.
Probably great dancers, too.
The decision to go to Cornell was obviously for academics, but also I knew I could go in and play early, and at the end of the day, that's all I wanted. So.
Hell to the yes. So, Eddie Money, do me a favor and look this up, because if you're going to play in the Ivy League, I'm assuming that quarterback has to be like the best position to go to the NFL. Like, I feel like if you're going to play in the Ivy League, the NFL likes Ivy League quarterbacks. Am I wrong about this? I mean,
I would assume.
They're usually smarter.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean,
and NFL's the goal. Is it not?
NFL's the goal. You want to allude to the Chargers?
Yeah, talk about it. Listen, I put this up there. I didn't know you want to talk about it. Let's talk about the Chargers.
So I went to the Chargers training camp today. One of my coaches at Cornell, he's interning with the Chargers this summer. Nice. So I actually really went down to see him in action. It's actually kind of funny. He was wearing all the Chargers gear. But I'm on the field after. I see Max Duggan. I see Herbert, Austin Eckler. So I'm standing next to all these guys. And I actually applied for a Chargers internship last year. It was under a Don Yee. He's an agent, fellowship. And I was actually a finalist. But I wasn't able to get the internship because I'm an NCAA player.
Right.
Oh,
and
that makes sense.
So the vice president of football ops, his name's Ed McGuire. We had a great conversation last year. And my aspirations after I'm done playing football is to coach. Whether I think right now it's college football. I want to go into college football, but that might change to NFL whether I go into scouting first. So I got in contact with him, and he's like, if you ever need anything, don't be afraid to reach out. Yes. So I actually just texted him last night. I'm like, hey, I'm coming down to the camp. Is there any way I can meet you in person? He's like, yeah, of course. So I'm on the field after, and comes up to me.
Get Ziegler on the phone. Can you help out the Raiders and not the Chargers? Chargers don't need any help. The Raiders need help, Jameson.
Yeah, no, he comes up to me. He's like, hey, man, you look bigger than I thought you were. So, again, the eye test for me has never been good, but I guess today it was a good
think
sign.
about this, Jameson. Think about this, and I thought about this for the last 2-3 days. What if you were the quarterback for Mater Dei?
It'd be crazy.
Right? I mean, it's the eye test. I ran into Bryce, and we love Bryce. We're huge Bryce fans. Huge. But you're like physically like intimidating compared to Bryce, is he not? Let me tell you.
Bryce intimidated the shit out of you, though.
I just went blank.
You did forget his name.
You
got starstruck by Bryce.
He's
Yes.
like,
Yes.
the guy, the Panthers, the guy, the Bama.
Yes. That okay. I did that, but I would have not. I would have remembered Wang spelled Wang. I would have remembered that. But think about that. Think about, and this is again going back to the eye test. Put yourself in a modern day or Bosco uniform. I think the offers are completely different. And I think you have the same success. I mean, Oaks is a real football school, but I'm a Trinity homer through and through.
No.
But put yourself in that program, and I think the opportunities become even greater.
Yeah, I mean, just my class, you talk about DJ at Bosco, Bryce at Modern
He came
Day,
out of a crazy quarterback California class. CJ Stroud.
at Rancho. So it's like, it was hard that year to like really stand out because all the attention are on these guys.
those guys.
Yes.
And it's like in a different class, maybe something else would happen, you know? But at the end of the day, you know, everything happens for a reason.
Think about that, Rafa. You're just at a quarterback camp, the number 1 pick, you know, the number 2 pick. I mean, DJ, who was projected to be better than all of them, are there. And I'm sure there was 5 more or 6 more.
More than that.
Yeah. So, you know, it's kind of freaking awesome. I love your journey so far. And, you know, I'm a huge fan. I will still get that helmet. Maybe I was going to get a bottle of Jameson and have you sign it. But
That would have been a good idea. No.
So I'm going to get yelled at if I don't ask you about your education, your major. You know, is Cornell a big architectural school?
Yeah,
or?
so the the architectural school is really good. I'm in the hotel school, which is business hospitality. Cornell has one of the best in the country. So when I was first going through the recruiting process, I was going to go to Cornell. If I did go to Cornell, I was just going to go straight into the business school, the regular business school. But when I was at Air Force, I was able to do research, and I had that friend who was there. And he was like, "Hey, our hotel program's legit." And I'm like, "What's hotel?" You know, like I've never heard of that before. But
that's the thing.
Did some research, and business hospitality, man. Like some of the classes I'm taking right now are so funny. Like I'm in a cooking class.
There you go.
Hotel operations, food service, like really like meticulous, particular classes that help you in the future. Like I don't think I'd be more prepared than. And like, if I want to start a business, like I feel like I'm going to be really good off. So
Rafa lives 50% of his life at the Wynn Resort.
No, exactly.
So it's a big deal. You know, my mom actually wanted me to get into hotel management. And I know a lot of successful people that it's a huge industry. Yeah. And big money, Papa. Big money.
Big money.
Yes.
The best class was actually a wines class. We took a wines class every Wednesday, 6 glasses of wine.
You think I'll?
Wow, really?
Yes.
Every Friday they do wine class here.
I do wine class all the time.
Eddie's got a wine class.
Yes.
Tuesdays and Fridays.
Yes.
Yeah. So he needs the other 3 days in between to recover.
So Cornell is getting a master's. Is that even a thing at Cornell? I heard Cornell University is big in the paper industry. Dunder Mifflin? No one gets it.
I get it.
Thank you over here.
Of course he does.
Office.
The Office, Cornell?
Oh, no.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Right over the head. Yeah. But like what's the next thing if you do 2 years, you say you're going to graduate, do they do masters?
Yeah, there is a master's program, but like
Football's still the idea.
Hell yes.
The issue is football can't help you get into the master's program. So that's the issue. Like once they can help you get an undergrad, but once you graduate, you got to apply on your own. And most likely, if you're a football player, you're not gonna get in. So
can you compare? It might be a stupid question, but I think you're gonna answer it a certain way. How difficult was Harvard-Westlake compared to Cornell?
Harvard-Westlake was harder than Cornell.
Yeah, see, I thought you might say that. And
it's crazy to think that high school could be harder than college, but you ask any of my friends who went to Harvard-Westlake or anyone that has been through Harvard-Westlake, and depending on what school they've been to, they'll 9 times out of 10.
I just had a funny feeling that because I've heard about Harvard Westlake, and a funny stat I heard about Harvard Westlake from Terry Barnum is that 99% of kids that go to Harvard Westlake go to a 4-year university. And Terry said
99%?
99%.
Wow.
You know the other 1%? They go on a European trip for a year and then go to a 4-year university because their parents have so much money. That's a true thing. And I know, was it CJ that said something stupid about 99% of Bosco students go to universities? CJ? Sheesh.
We have 99% of Bosco University.
Yeah, right here.
I wanted to ask you a football question. Who's your favorite quarterback?
Oh, I love this question. Who do you think is my favorite quarterback?
Is he a current player?
He is.
I'm not gonna like it.
I want to say Jalen Hurts.
I model my game after Jalen Hurts, but
that's what I thought.
That's not my favorite. My favorite quarterback is Aaron Rodgers.
Okay. There's no doubt about that.
Just the way that he spins the ball, the way that he approaches the game of football is, I think, he's the best out there right now. I think Jalen definitely play alike. I try to model my game after him.
That's what I thought. That's why I said Jalen.
Pat's a little different. Pat makes throws that no one else can make.
That's 100% true.
It's hard to say I model my game after Pat Mahomes.
Shovel passes. Anyone can shovel pass.
But yeah, no, me and my quarterback coach, he knows the Eagles head strength coach, so I get really good insight of what Jalen does day in and day out of the facility. So I really try to model my game.
If you've ever seen, I did want to ask you because Jalen, that's funny you say that. I was watching, NFL training camp live, and they are in the Eagles camp. And Jalen is built like a truck. Jalen is one of the biggest squatters on his team. And is that something that you're doing?
I would say not squat, but cleans. Power cleans, okay. I'm definitely top 10. I'm cleaning more than some of my linemen.
Yay! I love it. I love it, and I love me some Jalen Hurts, Papa.
We know.
Yes.
We know.
I said it. Jalen Hurts, the highest paid quarterback in the NFL, is he not?
It's Herbert.
No, it's Herbert.
100%.
They just keep one doing
it's always it'll be Burrow. It'll be Burrow in 2 weeks. Oh, I went limp.
Power cleans, Rafa. Power cleans.
But Jalen was a power lifter in high school, so that's where he gets that from.
Okay.
He was squatting like that in high school, which is crazy.
I think I'm a huge fan of Jalen. I think that's a great person to model your game after. He doesn't get enough credit, this guy over here, for his passing abilities.
No, none.
That's true.
Sorry.
And they do have the Georgia defense now.
Yeah, that Georgia flags.
Literally the whole Georgia defense. But are you a fan? Do you watch a lot of? I mean, being that you could, you play Friday nights. Are you a big fan of college football? Do you watch a lot of college football, or is it you got to freaking study?
We only play that one game on Friday night. The rest of the games are on Saturday.
Oh, I didn't know. I thought you guys all played Friday nights. No.
So we play Saturdays, but I could watch the games at night. So like, if Alabama's playing Saturday night, like I watch both the Alabama-Tennessee game and Alabama-LSU. So and then Pac-12, You
mean the Pac-4?
The Pac-4 with the Pac-12 network, the Apple TV streaming service. So we watch those games, but mostly NFL because Sunday is our day that we could watch football. So
who's your favorite team?
I don't have a favorite team.
I like that.
Love
that.
Growing up in LA, there was no team.
What?
There was no team when I was growing up. The Rams were in St. Louis. The Raiders were in Oakland.
They're garbage.
The Chargers were in San Diego, so I never really had a team, but I really just love watching football, learning the game, just watching what these quarterbacks do. Like you talk about Burrow, Mahomes, all these guys. They're doing some crazy things out there, and just trying to take some things, just little things. Like DTR actually said this when he was getting drafted. The analysis they did on him was he's like, I want to throw the ball like Aaron Rodgers. I want to run the ball and protect myself like Kyler Murray. And he was just comparing all these different attributes to different quarterbacks and taking the best out of each quarterback, like reading defenses like Tom Brady and just putting that all together. And that's how you're going to be the ultimate quarterback, because not everyone's perfect, but everyone definitely has some really good pieces to their
Mahomes
game.
is pretty close.
That's all Andy Reid. It's all Andy Reid.
Mahomes is pretty close.
It's all Andy Reid.
Real talk.
So we talk about the quarterback position all the time. It is a science. I'm curious on your thoughts on a certain quarterback from the University of Florida. I don't know if you follow Anthony Richardson. Do you think he has a skill set? How do you think he'll fare in the NFL?
Yeah, I think he's going to pan out really well. It's going to be a project for sure. I think it's not going to be instant. I think it's going to be a few years until he gets comfortable doing everything at the NFL level, at the pro level. But I think he's going to be something that's going to be
he's going to be special, Rafa.
Hard pass for me.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's a pass for me. It really is. I don't think he can throw the ball.
Rafa and I have this, and he's very correct on this. There's mobile to throw the ball, and there's mobile to run the ball. Lamar is more of a mobile to get first down with his legs. How would you consider yourself? Are you mobile to pass, or are you mobile to run? Because I've seen you do both. You've had some long, crazy, awesome runs at Cornell, and you've had the longest touchdown pass. I mean, you've done both. What would you think? I mean, you are.
I'm mobile to pass first, but
Or Jalen Hurts.
I'm not scared to run the ball. So I think that's the line that I cross, is that I'm always looking to pass first when I scramble. I'm not just tucking the ball and running it, but I'm not scared to run between the tackles, outside the tackles. So it's really a mix of both. So
Bring it.
Yeah.
Well, man, let's wrap this up. We're gonna talk some baseball. I want to thank you, dude, for coming all the way down. I know you're. When do you leave?
I leave next Tuesday. So
Next
yeah,
Tuesday.
listen.
Let's give a big hand to our guy over here, Jameson Wang, spelled with an A. Who knew? Who knew? I thought he was in the witness protection program. But, dude, I want to thank you so much for coming on the show. You've been amazing.
Thank you guys for having me.
bro.
We are gonna be watching every freaking play, and we will be your biggest fans. And dude, let's again, thank you to everybody. Let's do a little 30-second break, and we'll restructure this little setup.
Hey, go Big Red.
That's
Go Big
right.
Red. Let's do it.